Hello everyone. This is Eissa Hamdy Ahmed. I am a student at the Professional Diploma Faculty of Education for Human University. Today I'm going to give you a presentation about how to teach writing. Here we have the agenda of the presentation. We have here some contents to cover. First of all, we're gonna give you a definition of the writing skill, then the nature of writing, importance of writing, components of writing, types and uses of writing, and stages of the writing process, and finally I'm going to give you some final notes. The first thing to start with is writing. What's writing? Actually, writing is a process that involves at least four distinct steps. These steps are pre-writing, drafting, revision, and editing, and it's known as the recursive process. While you are revising, you might have to return to the pre-writing step to develop and expand your ideas. It's important here to note that it's one of the productive skills, and it requires a lot of practice. This means that students need to practice a lot in order to master this skill, because some students might struggle with this skill because they are not familiar with the process itself. Nature of writing. Writing constitutes one of the four skills of the language, and it's one of the key methods of communication. It's also, and sadly speaking, it's given very little attention, and it may be ignored in some learning settings. We can find this in some schools. In some classes, students do not pay much attention to writing because of the teachers, by the way. So here we have this problem, which is because of the teachers are not given due attention to this skill. Students ignore the skill accordingly. So here we have a problem. So the nature of this skill requires teachers to pay more attention to this skill and give students more practice and more activities. Is writing important? Yes, of course, it's very important. It's the key to communication. It's also a tool that students use to think about progress and receive feedback about their progress from teachers. It's a survival skill, as Sandra Stray said in 2010. It helps develop critical thinking, open new horizons, and learn more things about people, about nature, the world, and everything around students. Components of writing. Writing is composed of a lot of types, a lot of components. It has like many components. For example, we have syntax, grammar, mechanics, organization, word choice, purpose, audience, the writing process or the writer's process, and content. So let's start with the content. Here we should look at the relevance, clarity, originality, logic. The writer's process, for example, ideas, and generating ideas, and getting started, and writing drafts, and then revision. Also the audience, they are part of the writing process because they are the ones we're writing for. The purpose, why do we write, and what's the reason behind this writing or behind producing this piece of writing. Then the word choice, why do I choose these words or this word or not that word. So here we have to look at the word choice in terms of vocabulary, idioms, and tone. Also, we should take care about the syntax, the sentence structure, boundaries, stylistic choices, and etc. Grammar, rules for verbs, agreement, articles, pronouns. Okay, and also we have mechanics like handwriting, spelling, punctuation, and organization. Of course, it's one of the key components as well. Here we should look at the paragraphs, topic, support, cohesion, and unity. And this is taken from Ramis 1983 about production of writing. Here we have some more ideas or some more information about uses and types of writing. So let's start with types of writing. Types of writing could fall on into four types: narration, description, persuasion, and exposition. Okay, for the first part, for first type, we have here narration, in which the writers narrate a story or something, And for the description, it's about describing and giving features of some item or some object. Persuasion, it's about persuading people to buy a product, to convince them about something. And exposition, it's to expose and to shed light on some facts. So it's related to writing about something we know, or something we would like to give people more information about. Uses of writing. Writing can be used for different reasons. Among these uses are: number one, writing to communicate; number two, writing to imagine; number three, writing to explore. And we're gonna talk about each use later. The first the first use of writing is to communicate. In this category, or in this time, students are supposed to write to communicate their ideas, to express themselves, and they produce essays, book reports, term papers, etc. They also should write clear, correct, and objective piece of writing. They should use thesis statement, topic sentences, outlines, transitions, and titles. The second type is writing to imagine. Here, some writing should employ imagination. Students study fiction, poetry, drama, and songs, and they learn how to manipulate the language to express feelings, emotions, and beauty. The third type of writing is writing to explore, and this kind of writing is called personal, expressive, or exploratory. It's used to express what one thinks. The examples that fall under this category include a diary or a journal. Here we come to the stages of the writing process. Here we have pre-writing, and under this stage a topic is chosen, and then brainstorming is employed to generate as many ideas as possible. Here in this stage, students are given a topic, for example, or they are supposed to choose a topic, and they are asked to think of as many ideas as they could about the topic, and they write these ideas. And no idea is rejected or accepted, but all the ideas are welcome, because in this stage, what a person says is not wrong or right, but it helps the students think of more and more ideas. The second stage is planning. In this stage, students are asked to organize the ideas they have come up with. The third stage is writing and revising drafts. Students start writing down a first draft. Then students revise it to improve the content and organization. And they also correct any mistakes spotted in grammar, spelling, or punctuation. And this is a very important stage. The last step is writing the final copy, and here students write the final copy and then submit it to the teacher for marking. Finally, I'd like to give you some final notes about writing. So writing is a key skill, and it should be given more attention to help the students communicate their ideas in a written form.